Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of GESOPS TV. Today, as we agreed the last time, we'll be discussing GESOPS promises and its implications and meaning to you as a member. To you as a member. Since it's a broad topic, we will try and separate or divide it into various parts. Most likely to be a part one and a part two. But before we delve into that, let's do a recap of what we did last month. Last month, we did a recap of all the things that we did last year, where we went over how to check your statement, how to register on the portal, how to list your beneficiaries, how to make a claim when you retire. We discussed all those in last year, and in our first live, which was this month, which was January last month, we spoke about all the topics that we did last year. We did a recap. Please do well to share the link with your colleagues so that they can join in, and also know that the recorded version of this live will be made available on our YouTube channel and all our other social media platforms. The link tree will be made available on the screen. So if you tap on the link screen, you'll be able to access our various social media platforms. We have the YouTube, we have the LinkedIn, we have Twitter, and our WhatsApp number is there as well. So if you have any challenge, you can call us, WhatsApp us, or email us. Any of them will do well to respond to that. If you have any questions along the line, please do well to type them in our comment section and we'll respond to them accordingly. We'll respond to them accordingly. So Jesus promises. The promises are basically the things that GESOPS are ensuring you that they will do for you as a member. The things that they are ensuring that they will do for you as a member, and the benefits that you are going to get from being a member of GESOPS. So I'll run through the 5 promises that GESOPS has, then we'll take them one after the other, and we'll end wherever the time will permit us to. The GESOPS promises are 1. To manage the scheme professionally. To manage the scheme professionally. 2. Promptly pay benefits. To promptly pay benefits. And the third one is to simplify porting of benefits. To simplify porting of benefits. Then we have to provide regular updates. To provide regular updates to members. And then the last but not the least is to provide or prioritize customer service. To prioritize customer service. These are the 5 promises that GESOPS has for its members. Now let's take them one after the other. The first one is to manage the scheme professionally. The first promise is to manage the scheme professionally. GESOPS as an organization or as a scheme is managed by a board of trustees with representations from relevant institutions and other stakeholders. So we have representatives from the board, we have the representatives from the government and the unions. We have the 4 educational sector unions for teachers. So we have representatives from the unions and the government. We have the TEU, NAGRAT, CCT, and NAT. We have representatives from all of them, and then the government. As we go on, I'll break down who and who forms part of the government and who forms part of the unions. So we have institutions such as the Ministry of Education. We have institutions such as the Ministry of Education, a representative from Ministry of Finance, a representative from the Attorney General's Department. Now, Ministry of Finance, because your salaries come through Controller and Accountant General's Department. Also, your Tier 2 is deducted from source, so it comes to the Controller and Accountant General's Department. So you have a representative from Controller on the board. They have someone from the Attorney General's Department, because when it comes to pensions, we focus more on the law. So it's according to Act 766 as amended. So we have a lawyer on the board, which is from the Attorney General's Department. Then we have an independent trustee, which is Petra Trust. Now, it is the duty of the independent trustee to make sure that the other trustees are in line according to the NPRA regulations. Now, NPRA is the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. So, Petra Trust is there to ensure that they are going according to what they are supposed to do and for checks and balances. Now, we have the representatives from the 4 educational sector unions. We have representatives from the 4 educational sector unions, which is NAT. We have 3 representatives from NAT. So from NAT, we have Mr. Elvis Baini, we have Mr. Thomas Musa, and Mr. Isaac Ban. They are all on the board representing NAT. Then we have representatives from NAGRAT, which is Mr. Kabonu, Angel Kofi Kabonu, and Christian Adai Poku. Then we have representatives from Tewu, which is Mr. Mark Cranche and Richmond Saki. So we have, and someone from CCT, which is Ken Ali Awudu and Herbert Forsenapo. They are all on the board. They represent the unions, the various unions. And it's the duty of the trustees, it's the duty of the board to appoint service providers. Now, when it comes to the service providers, we have the fund managers, we have the administrator, and we have the custodian. We have the fund manager, we have the administrator, and we have the custodian. Now, as I go on, if you have any question, if you have any inquiry, please do well to send in your comments and your questions in our comment section. Please do well to send it in our comment section. Now, let me break down what the fund manager does, what the administrator does, and what the custodian does. Who is a custodian? Now, bear in mind that all custodians are banks, but not all banks are custodians. All custodians are banks, but not all banks are custodians. What the custodian does is that when your contributions comes from controller, that is where it goes to settle. That is where it goes to settle. For instance, maybe you say with GCB Bank and you've given those details to controller that when your salary comes, they should pay it into that particular account. Now, when your salary comes and it is deposited into the GCB account, GCB does not have any right to determine who and who takes part of the money. Until you give them an order, GCB cannot pay your money to any other person. Same applies here. Now, Prudential Bank is a custodian bank for Tier 2 GESOPS. So what happens is that when controller sends in the contributions, that is where the money goes to settle. So an order is made from the board of trustees that go and invest this amount of money here, or make payment to this retiree or this deceased person's family members. That is the only time the custodian is able to make transfer of the funds. So the funds are managed or kept in custody of the fund managers. Sorry, of the custodian. It's kept in the custody of the custodian. So they do the cash and assets custody. Then we move on to the fund managers. Now, because it's very important that we invest the monies properly and find places where we can get more yield on the funds. We have appointed fund managers to research into the pension industry or the investment industry and advise the board as to where best we can invest, because it is our priority as GESOPS. It's our priority first and foremost to protect and grow the funds of the scheme over time. It's our priority first and foremost to protect and grow the funds of the scheme over time. And we do all these things being guided by our core values, which is reliability, integrity, efficiency, professionalism, transparency, and accountability. Because we are accountable to NPRA, which is National Pensions Regulatory Authority. National Pensions Regulatory Authority. Now, what the fund manager does is, as I indicated earlier, is the fund manager's duty to research into the pension industry and advise the board as to where best we can invest and grow the funds so that when members retire, they can take home a well enough sum to help them ease their pension as they are at home. So again, it's our priority to first and foremost protect the funds and grow it so that members can benefit from the scheme as well. Now, the board is in charge of appointing the fund managers. So for tier 2, GESOPS to be exact, the fund managers are InvestCorp, IC Asset, and Data Bank. InvestCorp, IC Asset, and Data Bank. They are in charge of researching into the investment industry and advising the board. Bear in mind, they only play an advisory role. They only play an advisory role. They do not invest the funds. They advise the board. It is up to the board with their vast knowledge as a 15-man board with their various backgrounds to decide on where best they can invest the funds, taking into consideration the advice of the fund managers. Taking into consideration the advice of the fund managers. Because the board is their duty to manage the tier 2 funds for the sole benefit of the GESOPS members. So it's their duty to ensure that the proper governance structures are in place and are responsible for creating and implementing an asset allocation designed to protect the scheme members from risky assets but to ensure growth. So it's their duty to pick a place where the investment is not risky, where members might lose their money, but rather gain more from it so that it will ease them when they retire. Now, the second promise is to promptly pay benefits. The second promise of GESOPS to members is to promptly pay benefits. Now, if you join our previous lives or any of our trainings, we indicated that there are three conditions by which GESOPS will pay funds to its members. GESOPS will pay the funds to its members. One is when you retire mandatorily or voluntarily. 2 is invalidity benefit. Then 3, in an untimely death of a member, we pay to the beneficiaries or the next of kin that the deceased member listed. So, it's the duty of GESOPS to pay a lump sum of benefits during retirement or permanent disability. It's the duty of GESOPS to pay the benefits of members when they retire or when they are permanently disabled. Now, when you retire, which is 60 years or 55 years and above, which is a voluntary retirement, you have to make a claim to GESOPS. When you make a claim by completing our form, which you can get it from any of your union offices, any of the GLICO offices, or you can WhatsApp us or email us, you get the form, or you can visit our website, you can get the form. Now, when you get the form, you make a claim, you attach your retirement letter, SNIT payment advice, and any valid national ID card. We'll pay the money to you. Now, GESOPS promises that we'll pay you in a maximum of 90 days, a maximum of 90 days, and a minimum of 30 days. Now, the administrator, which is GLICO Pension, has promised to pay members within 30 days. So, when you make a claim, in a maximum of 90 days, you should get your money in your designated bank account that you indicated to us that we should pay the money to. Now, the administrator, which is GLICO Pension, you can equally go there for any assistance. If you want to check your statement, you want to list beneficiaries, you want to follow up on your claim, you want any information on your pensions, which is tier 2, you can visit any GLICO Pension office or any GLICO office and ask for the pension desk. They will do well to assist you. Now, in an untimely death of a member, the beneficiaries of the deceased can visit our office or any GLICO office, pick up a form, attach the necessary documents, and make a claim, provided you listed beneficiaries. So when you list beneficiaries, these beneficiaries that you listed will attach your death certificate or burial permit or mortuary receipt to the form that they will complete with their bank details indicated. Then, with their ID cards, then we pay the monies to them within a maximum of 90 days and a minimum of 30 days. If all the documents check out to be correct, we'll pay the money to them. However, if you do not list beneficiaries, which I will encourage you to list your beneficiaries or nominate beneficiaries, if you do not list them, your beneficiaries would have to go to court and get a letter of administration. Then your head of family would have to swear an affidavit indicating or verifying the identity of the beneficiaries nominated by the court. So GESOP promises to pay your benefits in a maximum of 90 days and a minimum of 30 days. And if you send us your forms and there are any mistakes, we pick up the form, we call you again and ensure that you send in the right forms so that you don't have to wait till you do a follow-up before we will check on your documents and have it rectified. When we check on your documents and realize that there's any mistake or any anomalies, we will contact you and have it rectified immediately so that you can be paid as soon as possible. Now, GESOPS has made it easier for members to make a claim where you don't have to travel from where you are to all the way to Accra to visit a GESOPS office. You can WhatsApp us on our WhatsApp number, which is 027 977, and ask us for the form. We'll send you the form. We'll also tell you the other document that you need to attach. You attach the document, you scan all of them, then you send it to us via WhatsApp, and we'll process the claim. Same applies to our email. You can also visit our website, gespensions.com.gh. Go to resources, download the claim form, complete the form, attach all the necessary documents, and submit it via the same portal. We promise to pay you within a maximum of 90 days and a minimum of 30 days. So we've made it easier for members to have access to our forms and made it easier for members to be able to make a claim, and in an untimely death of a member, the family members or the listed beneficiaries can make a claim as well. If you have any questions, please do well to ask your questions, type it in the comment section, and we'll do well to answer it for you. So I'll pause here for any question or okay. So let's take the third promise, after which we'll pause there, then we'll do the remaining in another session. So the third promise is simplify porting of benefits. Now, if you are no longer working with GES, or there comes a time where you no longer work with GES and you join a different employer, your new employer will now contribute your Tier 2 funds to your new trustee. Your new employer will contribute your Tier 2 funds to your new trustee. You don't have to keep your funds here no more. You can make a claim and transfer your funds from GESOPS to your new trustee. You can contact us and transfer your funds from GESOPS to your new trustee. Same applies to if you are working for a different employer and you've now moved to GES. You can transfer your Tier 2 funds from your former employer or trustee to your new trustee, which is GESOPS. You can transfer it from your former trustee to your new trustee. So for instance, maybe you've moved from GES and you're now working for a private institution, and now your Tier 2 is going to, say, Petra Trust or another independent trustee, another corporate trustee. What happens is that you contact Petra, tell them that you used to be a teacher at GES and you still have funds with your former trustee, which is GESOPS. They'll contact us, give you a form to complete, then transfer your funds from us to them. We'll transfer your funds from us to them. Now the question is that, what if I decide to stop working for GES and do my own business? Now if you stop working for GES and work for yourself, you can still join a master trust. You can still join a master trust. Now when you join a master trust, you can transfer your funds from GESOPS to the master trust. You can transfer your funds from GESOPS to the master trust. Or you can wait till you attain the retirement age, then make a claim, which is 50 years, 55 years to 60 years, after which you can make a claim and we'll transfer the funds to you into your personal bank account. You can make a claim and we'll transfer the funds to your personal bank account. So I'll go over the promises again, which is 1, to manage the scheme professionally, 2, promptly pay benefits, and 3, simplify porting of benefits. Simplify porting of benefits, of which the first one I said that, which is manage the scheme professionally, I said that the board is made up of the government and the unions, and it's their duty to appoint service providers, where we have the custodian who is in charge of assets and cash custody. We have the administrator, which is in charge of all the paperwork. If you want to check your beneficiaries, check your statements, you can visit them, which is GLICO office, any GLICO office across the country. Then we have the fund managers, who are in charge of researching into the investment industry and advising the board as to where best we can invest the funds, because it is the priority of GESOPS to invest the funds properly and make sure it is secure. Then we promptly pay benefits, where I said that it takes a maximum of 90 days and a minimum of 30 days for members to receive their benefits when they make a claim, or for a beneficiary or next of kin to receive the benefits in an untimely death of a member. Then if you leave GES or you join GES, you can transfer your funds from your former trustee to GESOPS, or you can transfer your funds from GESOPS to your new trustee. You can transfer your funds from GESOPS to your new trustee. Again, all our other social media platforms is in the link tree on the screen. You can click on it, have access to our website, have access to our other social media platform, our WhatsApp number, and our email address. So if you have any further inquiries, please do well to contact us and we'll do well to assist you. After this video, later, if you are watching this via recording and you have a question, you can also type in your questions and we'll do well to respond to them as well. This is by way of announcement. Next month, which is March, we will be visiting the Upper East and Upper West region. We'll be visiting the Upper East and Upper West region. So if you happen to be there, please do well to be a part of it. Also, we are implementing the district rep policy, where every district will have a representative for GESOPS. So you don't need to go all the way to the regional offices of GLICO or regional offices of your unions. You can visit any district rep and you will be equally assisted. All right. So without any questions and contributions, this is the end of our live for the day. And thank you for joining us today on GESOPS TV. Do well to join us same time next month, every third Friday of every month. We'll do well to come to you and continue with our live sessions where we discuss pertinent issues and other things that members would have us discuss. Thank you very much for joining. Do enjoy the rest of your day.
For more enquiries, reach us on 059 692 1135 or visit our website at www.gespensions.com.gh.